Facebook's easy connection to friends and family has revolutionized how people stay in touch, but it has a dark side. New at 5, a just released Consumer Reports survey shows in the past year more than 5 million American households experienced problems on Facebook, including virus infections and identity theft. As consumer specialist Rick Romero shows us, the same survey also finds 1 million children were victims of cyberbullying.
Yes, also in the survey, Mark, of the 20 million minors who actively used Facebook in the past year, 7.5 million of them were younger than 13. And Facebook's terms of service require users to be at least 13 years old. Also among this group of minors using Facebook, more than 5 million were 10 and under. 16-year-old Amy Stiefel says she felt terrible after receiving mean posts on her Facebook page.
I just felt attacked by basically just a whole bunch of people for everyone to see.
Devastated by the cyberbullying, Amy joined Love Our Children USA, a group that promotes internet safety. Many kids are at risk online, according to a survey by Consumer Reports National Research Center of more than 2,000 online households.
We project that more than 5 million kids aged 10 and under had Facebook accounts last year, even though 13 is the minimum age that Facebook allows. And we found that most of their parents did nothing to monitor their Facebook activities.
If you have a preteen using Facebook, be aware parents can delete the account by going to Facebook's privacy policy page and clicking on a link to fill out the Report an Underage Child form.
In order to protect your child, whatever their age, it's important to supervise their Facebook use. Become their friend and check their profiles regularly. You can also connect their Facebook account to your email so you see incoming messages.
Facebook users of all ages should use privacy settings, but 1 in 5 active members had not used these settings, according to Consumer Reports survey. To set them, go into your account's privacy settings and indicate Friends Only. It's also important to use the privacy settings on the apps and websites linked to your account.
If you connect your Facebook account to another site, you're allowing that site to collect a lot of your personal information unless you block its access.
Now, the Consumer Reports survey reveals other troubling facts about Facebook, including almost 1 in 3 people that have friends they're not completely comfortable with, and 6% admitted to having a friend who makes them uncomfortable about their safety or their family. Last month, Facebook established new ways to report bullying online. They say you can report the problem to Facebook, block the person who posted it, or contact help. Michelle, Mark, back to you.
The FBI is now warning about a smartphone app that could make your child vulnerable to sexual predators. It's called Snapchat, and it lets users send photos that vanish in a matter of seconds. The FBI says pedophiles are using the technology to lure young victims. And as 10 TV's Maureen Cosat reports, even adults can fall victim to people using the app to do more than chat.
It's almost like Facebook. So
Molly French says when she first downloaded Snapchat, it seemed harmless.
It was just kind of a convenient way to send silly pictures back and forth during class and not get caught.
Until she began receiving sexually explicit photos from an unknown sender.
It was that initial reaction of, why would someone do this to me?
French filed a police report but says the evidence on her phone had already vanished.
Here's how it works. I take a photo and then I send it to one of my Snapchat contacts, in this case, my photographer. Once he opens it, he has only 10 seconds to look at it before the photo vanishes, unless police say he grabs a screenshot or uses a second camera to take a photo of the image.
Bexley Police Detective Bernie Hanna admits he didn't know much about Snapchat until he investigated French's complaint. Hanna says he learned the promise of a self-destructing photo can be a false one.
It's a quick 10-second thing that's going to disappear, but it doesn't really disappear.
Now, the Franklin County Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force says the FBI is warning that pedophiles are instructing underage victims to download the Snapchat app in order to exchange explicit photos under the false promise the photos will vanish. French and the police did manage to identify the sender, a co-worker, but she says in the process she learned Snapchat can be as risky as it can be permanent.
You think 10 seconds isn't a long time, but 10 seconds is actually your entire life.
Police say never send photos if you don't want to risk being compromised, and never open photos on Snapchat if you don't recognize the sender. Maureen Cosat, 10 TV News.
Snapchat now warns users that images can be saved with a screenshot before the app is downloaded. The FBI says as of June, Snapchat was processing 200 million snaps every day.
Thanks, JP. New at 9:30, a warning for parents about a new social media site that many claim is a haven for cyberbullies. Ask.fm allows teenagers to post questions on each other's pages.
But unlike other sites, the posts can be completely anonymous. Fox 6 News reporter John Huddleston tells you what you need to know to help protect your child.
12-year-old Rebecca Sedgwick, a Central Florida girl who for more than a year was terrorized by cyberbullies. Many of the posts urged Rebecca to take her own life. And on September 9th of this year, the 12-year-old climbed a platform at an abandoned cement plant and jumped to her death. It was later discovered that Sedgwick had recently signed up for several new apps, including Ask.fm.
The internet can be a great tool, but it can also be a very, very dangerous place.
Lieutenant Mike Yarbrough with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department says it's only a matter of time before Ask.fm gains popularity in the United States, and parents need to be ready.
Just like you would keep your children away from somebody down the street in person, you do the same thing here.
The site works like really any other social media site. You go on there, create a username and password, and once online, you can go out there and post questions to pretty much any user. The difference, though, between this site and another one like Twitter and Facebook is that this one can be done without ever having to leave your name or any other type of identifying mark.
We created a dummy account, and it didn't take long for us to find examples of cyberbullying. This anonymous user posting on one girl's page, "You are the reason our country is not respected. Kindly put a gun in your mouth and pull the trigger."
The people from Ask.fm have actually boasted that it will always be anonymous and that there is no way you can find out who actually sent the question or response.
The problem is adolescents, while technologically they may be very advanced, socially they're not.
UAB psychologist Josh Claypoe says teens are more likely to fall victim to a cyberbully because their need for peer approval has reached an all-time high.
The scary part is that teens and others are going to these web pages and they are taking these comments that are being posted and they're internalizing them.
Claypoe says that parents need to take an active role in policing their children's computers and cell phones. And when it comes to Ask.fm, be especially vigilant because of the website's anonymous nature.
The more anonymous they can be, then the less hesitation they're going to have to put out comments and thoughts and statements that might otherwise not occur if you had to look someone face to face. And unlike traditional bullying, where it's face to face, there's no end.
John Huddleston, Fox 6 News on your side.
Now, officials at Ask.fm have announced several changes, including more content moderators and higher visibility of the privacy features. If you do find your teen using that site, now under the privacy tab, there's an option to block anonymous posters.
A warning tonight for parents about a new website. It's called Chat Roulette. Here are the facts first. The online site uses webcams to connect people from around the world. Users can remain anonymous when they talk or text each other, but it's also connecting children to online predators. KSBY News reporter Ariel Wessler is live in the Santa Maria News Center with a closer look. Ariel.
Well, Tony, good evening. What's so concerning about this website is how easy it is to use. All you need is a webcam and you're good to go. We warn you some of these images may be disturbing. It may sound like a harmless game until you look closer. Using a webcam, the online site matches you up with random strangers.
You have no control over who it is you're being paired up with. You have no control over the content that's being sent to you.
That's kind of interesting. We have webcams on the laptops.
After 15 minutes on the site, we found tons of sexual content. Most of the users seem to be men, and some of the images are downright disgusting. The website says you must be 16 years or older to log on and lays down some ground rules, but there is no registration or enforcement. It's up to parents.
You need to discuss with your kids the dangers of online predators, just like you do discussing with kids about meeting strangers in the park.
Parents we spoke with hadn't heard about the Chat Roulette website, but say they already keep a close eye on their kids.
His access to the computer entirely is strictly limited. He's not allowed to go on the computer at all without asking first.
I know her password and everything, so I can go in there and monitor it.
The website gets more than 1.5 million hits daily, and Santa Maria police say similar sites have already popped up for college students and singles. Well, certainly a sign of the times. One woman I spoke with today said she used to be concerned about letting her kids outside. Now she says she also has to worry about what they're doing indoors. Reporting live tonight in the Santa Maria News Center, I'm Ariel Wessler. Tony, back to you.
Yeah, it's very troubling. All right, Ariel, thank you. And the Chat Roulette website was developed by a 17-year-old from Russia.